he wants to do himself an attack, an aggro plan, bringing now Gaudini to 6. Thomas know that if it's in a bad situation, now he can.
I mean, Mar's deck does have a reach. I mean, he plays cards like Lightning Bolt. He has an active Death Ray Shaman in play. He can attack back with his Snapcaster Mage. So, I mean, he does have a reach. So Gaudini has to be worried that, you know, he's not playing cards like Lightning Bolt.
You know, I mean, no, Tomasz doesn't want to chum block with a Snapcaster Mage to bring Gaudini to 6 life and 1 turn for that. Gaudini, if he doesn't do nothing more, because also Tomasz Mar killed with Abrupt Decay the token from Monastery Mentor, so if now Gaudini will not do nothing, he's do as a Dark Faden, he plays a Dark Faden now, and he throws 2 cards, and discard 2. Ancestral Recall on him, but he doesn't have a token of Monastery Mentor, so he doesn't have.
He basically has to find a solution right now, as he's basically dead on the following attack.
Yeah, he's dead on the board now. He has to do something, and he's playing a Delver of Secrets.
He does have a Delver, though.
Delver can be a 1-turn solution, blocking the Snapcaster Mage. Let's see if Thomas can get rid of a Delver and finish this game. He attacks with Snapcaster.
He's offering
Obviously,
the trade.
Gaudini, you have to block.
He's offering the trade here.
Yeah, also because Tomasz is at 4 life. So a Dark Confidant now, another threat from Tomasz.
Also, now Mar actually has the choice between gaining 2 and dealing 2, and he probably will gain 2.
Yeah. Now
Actually,
Gaudini
he still has another tropical land, another tropical island in play, and I mean, being at 4 life, it doesn't really want to die of like revealing a Force of Will, so he probably really wants to just gain 2 and go up to 6 in order not to just die on his upkeep.
If you see an interesting choice of Gaudini that plays 2 Pyroblast main deck, and he discarded them from Dark Faden, and now another Delver comes in, but it's not enough because he have the end turn. Tomasz will do 2 damages with Death Ray Shaman and 2 damages in this round.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, he's probably actually gonna gain 2, because otherwise he can. I mean, he could die from Force of Will.
No, he will win. He will win just now. Yeah, reveals a land and 2 damages. And
so hold on a second.
So
if he actually reveals a Force of Will, there is dead.
1-0 for Thomas Mar.
If he reveals a Force of Will, is dead.
Yeah, if he reveals a Force of Will is dead, yeah, he took this risk. But
he could just stack the Dark Confidant and just deal 2 in response, without having to reveal.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is a thing that Tomasz didn't thought of maybe, and it was a curious way to lose this game. So Tomasz Mar leads 1-0, and now let's see the sideboard cards. I start with Tomasz. He's got in a sideboard. He's got 3 Surgical Extraction. He's got a Pyroblast. He's got a Red Elemental Blast. He's got 2 Ancient Grudge. He's got 2 Natural's Claim. He's got 2 Neil Spellbomb. I think he'll enter with the Grim Levamancer for sure, for getting rid of the Monastery Mentor as he comes into play, and he surely will enter with 2 Red Elemental Blasts to face the blue spells of Gaudini.
Okay, Gaudini has a few cards like Rest in Peace, Containment Priest, Ingot Chewer, Steel Sabotage, Sudden Shock, and Pyroblast. I mean, Sudden Shock being a really good answer to cards like Death Ray Shaman, Dark Confidant, and all the small beaters that Fish can provide. Rest in Peace is an interesting one because, I mean, he's probably hitting hard cards like Death Ray Shaman and Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah. So, give you an update of the other results. I give you news. Pascal Wagner is lost the third game, so he's now 2-2. And he's out of the top 8. So, Pascal Wagner will not really be able to back-to-back all the 3 tournaments he attends. So, this is the news. Pascal Wagner he lost the third game, so he's now 2 wins and 2 losses, and he's out of the top 8 race. So, this is, Pascal Wagner is human.
No.
Yeah, he's human after all. He can actually lose matches every now and then.
So, I tell you who's racing for the top 8 right now. That are Stefan Romanil, Rodrigo Togores at 12 points, Tomas Mar, seeing here 12, Paolo Gaudini 10, Alonso Gonzalez and Scholde Joachim 10, Francesco Gianni 10, Ricardo Biava now 9, Angelo Cadei 9, Sanchez Pedro 9, Stefano Lari 9, Jean-Maria Cart, our old friend, 9 points. So
let's have a quick look at Gaudini's hand. He has a Mox Ruby, a handful of lands, and not much action. So he quickly decides to take an aggressive mulligan and ship it back and draw 6. While Mar, on the other hand, it seems like he kept his 7. Let's try if we can get a quick peek.
Quick mulligan by Gaudini, but is now in a bad shape because he lost the first one, he's mulliganing a 6 in the second one, and so Tomas Mar is way in advantage to go 5-0 and get in the top 8.
It's a no-lander. I mean,
no land, and
no
he goes
land
to
on
5.
6, and he has to go down to 5.
Oh man.
I mean, let's say that in vintage anyway. I mean, mulligans are not that important. Like you can still find your ways to get advantage.
Yeah.
Like with cards like Ancestral Recall, you're less punished by your mulligans. The problem is your opponent also plays those cards, and he has access to cards like Mental Misstep and Force of Will. So if your five cards hand sometimes relies only on like a singleton Ancestral Recall.
Or a bomb spell.
Well, I mean,
But
he still has a chance. I mean, he could just drop like, I don't know, a Mentor turn 1.
Yeah.
Could be a decent way. A Mentor turn 2 with a cover or something.
Siamo droppati a 34. So now he's got.
I mean, his hand is actually not too bad for a mulligan to 5. He can actually lose to Wasteland right now, but he does have a Delver, he does have a Force of Will, Fire and Ice, and a Gush. So if he finds a second land,
strip mine again.
okay, and that's it. Basically, I mean,
Even if it's a dig through time.
he does
useless.
have the good thing about this hand at the moment is that he does have a Force of Will. He does have a plan. I mean, the plan is basically just to go coast to coast with the Delver and protecting the Delver with the Force of Will.
The only plan he got.
It is the only plan he's got, and he needs to draw into 2 more lands.
Yeah, but Pascal has got Red Elemental Blast, he's got a Wasteland, he's got a Strip Mine, he's got everything he needs.
Yeah,
got
and
a
he's got a Lightning Bolt, so he has 2 ways of dealing with the Delver. So he's trying to probably bolt the Delver in his upkeep, and that, I mean, at that point, if you're Gaudini, you probably force that bolt, because that's really the only plan you're looking at.
Yeah, in this moment. And you will pitch dig through time at the moment. You really.
It's very far from being able to play dig through time.
And it does.
What he needs to draw is basically 2 fetches. He needs to draw into 2 fetch lands in a row, keep them on the board, and at some point try and float mana and Gush.
Yeah. And in response to one wasteland gushing into. Now
Which is
wasteland
now
comes
not
in.
gonna be able to do that because with Wasteland in play, even though you have two
Red
fetchlands,
Elemental Blast
there is
on the
no,
Dagger.
absolutely no
May-
time to gush.
This can end this game. This Red Elemental Blast can be the final nail on this game. E vabbè, perché qua finisce. Yeah, now preordain. Now,
Well,
Thomas
now Mar is basically cruising to victory. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fi- I mean, Gaudini just drew also Ancestral Recall, and he doesn't have. I mean, he's just frustrated. He doesn't have any access to any mana, and I mean, they're gonna be one-shot lands as well because his opponent is got a Wasteland in play.
Yeah. So the only way he can is drawing a land, trying to ancestral, then be wasteland on this land. So now Dark Confidant comes in for Thomas Mar.
Well, he's got a path to victory now. Just basically Mar revealing 3 Force of Wheels in a row.
Yeah. He's at 12 life, so
I mean, he's at 12 life. I mean, he's got some 5 casting cost. Oh, that's not one. That's not one of them. Also, Mar just drew a Mystical Tutor as well, so he's probably not gonna draw, not gonna lose out of review.
Yeah, Mari's got plenty of cards. He's in full of control of this game, and Gaudini. There's not much that Gaudini can do to win this game. This Mulligan F5 and one land was quite unlucky, but anyway, cannot do much in this game. So he goes down to 17, but the lives in this moment doesn't matter a lot because Thomas Mar is in full of control of this game and is only waiting his time to. He won the first, so he doesn't. He's not in a hurry to win it. End of turn, Mystical Tutor. Gaudini is thinking of. Yeah, you have to say yes. Gaudini has got a Force of Will, and Thomas has got an Ancestral Recall on top now. So we'll go to 11 life, but we'll draw in another 3 cards that probably will nail the match for Gaudini. This card for Gaudini.
And I think he's just drew another Wasteland as well.
Yeah. Now he fetches. He'll go to 10. Thomas Mar has got to be. It's also true that Thomas Mar, if the things cannot get as he thought, he can also bolt or decay his own Dark Confidant. So he's will not be dead as a Dark Confidant. So now he plays, I think, Ancestral Recall. He's got already 7 cards in hand, but he have plenty of lands and plenty of spells to play. Now he got another strip mine.
It's even worse than a Wasteland. It's a strip mine. So even if he has access to a basic island,
So Gaudini cannot find a single land to open to at least do something. So
yeah, when your opponent is beating you down, you got no permanence, and your opponent is going in discarding
a Dark
a
Confidant.
Dark Confidant, you're not in a great shape.
Revealing a Tarmogoyf that will really be a quickening of a race of Thomas Mar.
Yeah, that's why I was asking myself whether Gaudini would have brought in cards like Rest in Peace, because I mean he could affect cards like Deathray Shaman, cards like Tarmogoyf. He also plays Treasure Cruise, Snapcaster Mage. I mean, Rest in Peace definitely a card that hits about 12 to 16 cards in your opponent deck. So you
Yeah.
definitely have to consider playing that.
Yeah, I think it's every opponent in Vintage gets hit by Rest in Peace. The graveyard, as the graveyard is an important interaction in Vintage. Now, Thomas Murray gets also in Treasure Cruise. Gaudini's plays the Force of Will of the Treasure Cruise of Thomas Murray. You can say, wow, you cannot go so far. But now Thomas, he's got a Tarmogoyf, he's got plenty of cards. He's got everything to win this game. Doesn't need anything else.
It's very curious how Gaudini decides to Force of Will a draw free and not Force of Will like a 5/6 or 4/5 that is
Yeah,
gonna
but
basically just give him a 2-turn clock. But it doesn't make any difference at this point.
Maybe I think that Gaudini he wants us to lose
Yeah,
this
it
game.
just wants to lose this game as quick as it can and just end the agony.
Yeah, probably. I think I'll concede it. And now also Grim Lavamancer comes in.
I mean, in the end of the day, you have to consider that these players, they might play again in the top 8. So, I mean, you're done. There's no way you're coming back, but you might as well just continue playing on. As obviously, you might see a few cards that it might give you, some information if you're gonna play again against the opponent in the top 8.
Yeah, Thomas Mar managed to win 2-0 against Gaudini with 4 color fish. And Gaudini was obviously not particularly lucky in game 2. We have to say it. He mulliganed 5, he's only got a land, he's got only a Delver and a Force of Will. So, but in game 1, I would have played different if I was Gaudini. That Treasure Cruise, that Brainstorm, that Fetchland, that Monastery Mentor, that Flusterstorm to save only one single. I would keep the Flusterstorm, for example. I would play better the game 1, but in the game 2, there's not much more that Gaudini can do.
Okay, back to the booth now. David Besso here. Pietro Cavaletti is going to have a quick interview with the winner of this feature match, Thomas Mar. So we're going to ask him a few questions. If any of you in the chat has got any questions for Thomas Mar, his fish deck list, we're going to have, a quick interview with him about his matchups, about how his deck plays out, his deck decisions, all the deck building and everything.
Yeah, basically, David will tell me if there are questions from the chat room for Thomas, but I'll start asking him about these choices, both in the main deck and in the sideboard.
Okay, this is coming.
Sì, sì.
Okay, so he say that is not English or American. So if you can, if you don't understand, you can repeat the answer.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
You can.
I will.
A little slow.
Yeah, I will.
So, just a few minutes more. And do you have the list?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
I'm Pietro.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah, from Prague. No.
Yes.
Yes. I know the Italian guy who lives here, JJ. I was getting La Capra, yeah. My friend.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine. So
Sorry.
He told me about you. So we are here with Thomas that just won this game and is 5-0 and he made it in the top 8 with this good 4-color fish. The first question I have for you is how it's basically the bug fish that we all played. But why you decided to put the red into this deck?
Because in backfish you don't have really like option for the first round, like decay only if you have mox or something. But the bolt is really good. Like for 1 mana you can even kill Jace or something, and against non creature decks it's really like tempo cut. You don't need to like kill creature, you just shot it to the head. And
Yeah, and we said also that maybe you chosen to play the red for, obviously I said the same thing for the bolts, as you saw, but also I think you do it for monastery mentors, the bolt.
yes, of course, but I think abrupt decay is maybe even better than bolt against monastery mentor, because he can react like Gash or Ancestral or
Yeah.
Brainstorm or something like that.
Yeah.
But he against bolt he can just cast 2 spells and let the bolt resolve.
Yeah, yeah, correct. And another question, your opponent, your deck, how it performs against the Rest in Peace? Because your opponent was playing Rest in Peace, and we don't think he boarded in. Your deck suffers the Rest in Peace
Yeah,
card.
it does. Like
Because
I'm
you got
playing.
Treasure Cruise, you got
Yes.
Deathright Shaman.
Yeah, you
Oh
get
my God.
Goif
You get
like 0-1. It's really hard against this card. I'm playing this deck even in Legacy.
Yeah.
The Rest in Peace, such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Just another question, 2 questions quick for you. I play in the bugfish, and sometimes I get, if they kill me with the Deathright Shaman, I'm quite embarrassed with the mana base. How you can keep a mana base with 4 wasteland, 1 strip mine, and 4 colors?
Yeah, it's really hard. Like you sometimes the worst matchup you have is matchup with your mana base, because
Yeah.
sometimes you just have wrong colors
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, I imagine.
But I think that the cards, how they are strong, you play obviously the strongest cards in each color.
Mhm.
So I think it's
Mhm.
worth it.
Yeah. And you got only 2 Tarmogoyfs, right?
Yeah, just two,
Just
because
2. It's a finisher.
yeah, it's a finisher. No one plays Tamogoyf in Vintage, because Vintage is obviously
Quick.
not really quick, but you want to gain cards like from Snapcaster or Dark Confidence.
Gash and so on. So
But the Tarmogoyf is like
yeah.
for 2 mana 5/6. Some guys plays True Name Nemesis. It's obviously 3/1 and you can't kill it or something
Okay.
like that. But Tarmogoyf is like
So you
2
play
times
Tarmogoyf
huge.
like a Tom Stalker.
Yes.
When he arrives, he
Yes,
closes.
yeah, just go kill some creatures and then put Tarmogoyf, and it's like 4 turn clock.
Okay.
5,
Something-
5, 5.
Yeah, obviously. Someone in the chat room asked us, you have enough blue cards for Force of Wills?
Yes, you have, but not that much you want to. But you obviously you have like how many?
You have 2 Preordain, you have 1 Brainstorm, you have 1 Ponder, 3 Snapcaster that you don't want to pitch, definitely. 2 Spell Pierce, 4 Mental Mist. 4 Mental Misstep is a choice, but
Yeah,
I played only 2 in the
because
Bugfish.
the mental misstep I played in my
Time Walk.
yeah, I played 3 in my past, like Ovino Geddon or
Mhm.
the JR tournament,
Yeah,
or how is
yeah.
it called? But then I discuss it, and you won't always have it. Like the
Even opening. Yeah.
The game is about the ancestral. Like Mirror is always about Time Walk and ancestral. That's because that's why you play 3 turtles. You just want to find it and
Yeah.
beat the game.
Obviously. Talking about the game you just won. Okay, the second game we don't talk because you win 2 easily, and the Mulligan and the 5 you have
Yeah,
very
of
stand
course.
in the match, because the first game you tried the denial plan, but when you saw that you got 3 lands and a mox, you say, okay, I have to change my plan, or you yet stick to the plan of trying to deny and attack.
I didn't have really many options, because I think I mulligan to
Yeah,
6,
you Mulligan to 6.
and
yeah.
he had too many options, like 6 cards in hands always. So he always like have. I think he had counters or something like that. I just try to
to do your
to
job.
do like shaman to prevent like dig through time,
Yeah.
to cast it for a lot of mana, not just for 2, and
Yeah,
just
we
do
appreciated
it.
you appreciated your choice to not block the 5/5 of mentor with Snapcaster to keep to get sticky to your attack
Of
plan.
course, of course.
Yeah.
I didn't have another way to win. Like I just needed
To sweep. Yeah.
In game 1, when basically you're at 4 lives, and at the end of the very last turn, you deal 2 with the Death Red Shaman. You didn't actually stack the 2/1. You could have just lost by flipping a Force of Will.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you could have just stacked the ability of the
Yeah.
of the
The revealing
the
ability
Dark
of their confidence, put
stack
in the
it,
stack,
and your response,
and your
just
response
deal the last
kill
two.
the
But
weapon.
if you just reveal the Force of Will, there you're dead.
Yeah, of course.
Did you actually-
I fuck it, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
So Thomas did an error with.
Yeah, I made
It's
a
official.
mistake. I made a mistake. Like
Yeah.
that was obvious.
The only Force of Will, Force of Will is the only card you can turn to die. But it was a thing where to notice because it was a 4 life. You can do 2 damage at the end of the tournament. Anyway,
Yeah.
Congratulations and maybe see you to Pate
Thanks.
and get another
I hope
coverage
so.
for Thomas.
I hope 2
Yeah,
splits
if-
will be enough to
Okay.
play. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. So back to back to the comment, Kevin.